guys, so a lot of you have been asking about a build list for the RSX, the base model turbo. So I went ahead and wrote it all up in this notebook, and I'm going to read it off to you. That way, if you wanted to do something like this for yourself, you'd be able to. So to start off, it is the K20A3. It comes out the base model RSX. That is what I have. It's a 2004 base model. The engine's stock. It got rebuilt about 10 to 11,000 miles ago. Not exactly sure. I'd have to go look. But it has the stock 5-speed transmission with it. It's got 210,000 miles on it. It runs fine. I don't have any gear grinding or slipping or anything like that. It runs basically anywhere from 12 to 14 pounds of boost. On 14 pounds, it makes 350 wheel horsepower and 300 foot-pounds of torque. That is a pretty decent number out of an A3, and a lot of guys say that they don't make power, but they do. You just got to be careful with how you do it. Just pull some torque out, make the power in the higher end, don't rev it too high. I am set at 7,100 RPMs is my rev limiter. Sometimes it'll hit maybe 72 here and there just from banging off of it. It has an AC delete, an IACV delete, and cruise control delete. Those are the only things that I don't have that the car used to have. To do the AC delete, I just took it off and got a shorter belt. It is doable. If you want to know what that is, I can throw it in the comments. Just ask. Poured and polished head. I did that myself. Just basically took the gasket that you use for the exhaust side, marked it up, made the holes bigger, ground it out with a Dremel, then polished it all down, sanded it down, polished it. Definitely helps with airflow, moves a lot more air than what the K20A3 head usually would be able to. Next, we have a stage 1 XD clutch. When I put that in, I wasn't planning on turbocharging the motor. I just wanted a good solid clutch. XD says that will hold 300 foot-pounds of torque, so we are right at the limit of what that clutch can hold, but it doesn't slip, and it's got again 10,000 or so miles on it, and it has served me well. So if you're looking around this power range, maybe go stage 2. Stage 1's worked for me so far. Next, we have a 9-pound lightweight flywheel, also from XD. I did that at the same time. Really helps with revving. The revs drop quicker, so you can shift faster. Doesn't really matter with the 5-speed. If I were to get the 6-speed, which I would like to do, it would help a lot more there. Innovative 60A motor mounts. I went with the most rubberized motor mounts possible. I didn't want to have a super rough idle and stuff like that, just from having super stiff motor mounts. They're still stiff motor mounts, a lot more than stock, but they're the softest ones that you can get from Innovative. Next, we have Honda K-Pro V4. Best upgrade you can do, even if you're not going to go turbocharged, just do it. You can tune anything, you can do anything you want. It's amazing. Plus, you can watch all your vitals via your phone through Bluetooth or an iPad or whatever you have. It'll work great for you. It has a 5450 Rev9 turbo, eBay turbo. That's the best way to explain it. I think they're $250 if you were to buy it separately from a kit or something. It's a journal bearing. It's not a ball bearing. It has worked so far for me. It spins well, makes good boost. That's all I can say about it. Got a turbo blanket for it because it is a rear mount turbo. It's not a sidewinder. Any of you that follow the channel know that. You've seen it, obviously. It gets hot back there, so you need to have a turbo blanket to protect some stuff. Got a 1320 turbo oil feed line. I didn't want to use the eBay one, so I went to 1320 and bought just one of their generic oil feed lines. It works great. Got a knockoff HKS blow-off valve. Sounds alright. My buddy's got the same one in his Del Sol. They sound the same. It works good. Don't have any complaints there. I kind of like the sound of it. Wouldn't mind a little more flutter, but it is what it is. 38mm Rev9 wastegate, so that came in the kit with the turbo. Same name brand, Rev9. It's 38mm, pretty small wastegate, but I'm not making much boost, so it doesn't really matter. I've got the 8-pound spring in it, so max 16 pounds of boost, which I've had the car at that Don't do it on an A3. I started getting some knock. It was running about, if you do the math, around 375 wheel horsepower. A little too much. I wouldn't do it again. Just be careful when you get that high. I've done a lot of research on the A3s, and with this being a fresh A3, it might have been why it took it fine. If it would have been old and you just slap it on there, it may have blown up. I don't know. There's no way to tell. Mine still runs great. I've got it running on anywhere from 12 to 14 pounds right now, so 325, 350 wheel horsepower. Stainless 3-inch custom downpipe. My brother made that. It's pretty cool looking. You know, it swirls back. It looks nice. Then we've got that goes to stainless exhaust, running back to a Greddy RS muffler. That's the newest thing that I've put on. It sounds great. Love it. I'll do a video shortly on what that sounds like. Looks great though. Quality is amazing if you're looking for a good muffler. The Greddy RS Revolution is what it's called. It has 2.5-inch intercooler piping with an eBay intercooler. Nothing to say there. It's eBay. It works, and that's all there is to it. A Honda 4-bar map sensor. At the time I just bought it because I thought I needed it. I probably could have gotten away with running the stock one, but I have it there just in case it ever gets A2 swapped and I want to run 25 pounds of booze. Who knows? It's there. It works good. I have a ported RBC intake manifold. That was ported when I bought it. I do have a 72mm Skunk 2 throttle body on with that, and it works great. You know, I don't have any complaints. Hybrid Racing fuel rail. Great fuel rail. Does what it needs to do. I have Bosch 550cc injectors. They're not maxed. I'm around 80% load on those at full throttle and boost. So if you're looking for around that power range, around the 350 wheel power range, you should be fine with the 550s. I have a Walbro 255 in-tank fuel pump. My fuel gauge still works, everything like that. It just replaces the stock fuel pump and flows more. It does have a return style fuel setup on it as well, so the fuel rail, the Hybrid Racing fuel rail, has that setup, plus it has just an eBay fuel pressure regulator, and it runs around 55 to 60 pounds of fuel pressure returning back into the tank. NGK number 8 spark plugs. You'll know, your tuner will know what to buy, what to have there for you for whatever build you're doing, but you want to upgrade your spark plugs if you're going to go turbo on these K-series. Next thing I have is a Mishimoto race thermostat that dropped the temperature from around 185, which is where it's at, to about 175. Better for hot days. You know, it keeps the temperature down in the engine bay. And in the motor, I like it. It works well. I have a dual core aluminum radiator to go along with that. That is just an eBay. I spent 120 bucks on it. Didn't want to go $300 on a Mishimoto. It's all aluminum. It works really well, a lot better than the stock one. Keeps it cool. You know, does a good job. Dual 10-inch cooling fans. I installed those myself with a switch. Again, eBay. You can't go wrong with a cooling fan. They've lasted a few years so far. They work well. Custom battery relocation. Had to do that to get the intercooler piping in. You'll see in the engine bay it is lower set. Have a coolant reservoir relocation. Again, had to move that for the RBC intake manifold. Buddy Club short throw shifter. Awesome. Great purchase. I love it. It's adjustable. You can make the throw as long or as short as you want. Hybrid Racing shift bushings. That helps a lot as well. It took a lot of the slop out of the side to side when you put it into gear. VMS weighted shift knob, just something that I bought off of eBay. Actually, my brother bought it for me just for a present. It's really nice. You know, I like the weight to it. Helps shifting. OMP suede steering wheel. I like it. Looks good. Quick release hub. NRG racing seats. Those are nice. If anyone tells you don't buy it, I have no complaints with them. 4-point harness seat belts. It is sitting on Raceland coilovers. Hopefully those will be replaced soon. They kind of suck. I wouldn't buy them again. They work. They lower the car. They're bouncy. They feel cheap. I wouldn't buy them again. So, but they work. Federal SS 595 street tires. Great tires. They're sticky. They're fat. I like them. They look good. Totally would buy those again. 3rd gen TL Type S wheels. That is what I have on the car. I've had them for years. I love the look. I like stock rims, so I'm gonna find the best stock rims that suit me the best, and that's what I'm gonna go with. I like those, so that's what I went with. I have the NRG chassis mount carbon fiber wing, custom tube steel bumpers front and rear. It was a lot of work, and it was something that we just thought would be fun. We were gonna track the car, and then I decided, hey, I want to drive it on the street. So wouldn't say it's completely street legal. I don't know. I've been pulled over many, many times, and they've never said anything about it. So I guess it's fine. Custom headlights and turn signals. Again, had to have headlights, had to have turn signals, and you don't have the original housings on that car. So the turn signals are 3D printed, and the headlights are basically they're off-road pods that you would put on a truck, but we pointed them down and put 4 of them across, and it was really bright at night. They're really nice. I like them. So build cost for this, after adding all of that up and the price of the car, I paid $2,800 for the car 4 or 5 years ago. The build cost came up to $11,580 to the best of what I can remember and what I've put into it. $11,580 for a 350 wheel horsepower car with 15,000 miles on it, and super just kind of custom and weird, and I like it. I don't really care if no one else likes it. I like it. So lastly, I've got plans for the build. There's not a lot left that I want to do. I do want a 6-speed transmission with an LSD in it, and the reason I want a 6-speed is that is a base model, and it only revs to 7,200 RPMs. So I get out of VTEC, which I've got set at 5,000 RPMs on that car. I get out of that. It revs down when the gears shift down to about 4,500, and then I've got that 1 or 2 seconds that I'm waiting for it to crack into VTEC again, and it kind of sucks. Honestly, I hate losing that power, so I kind of want the closer gear ratio to be able to stay in the power band better. And with an LSD, I think it'll be a lot more fun to drive. It'll probably be a little quicker as well. I want RSX Type S brakes. I have the stock base model brakes. They're not bad, they work, but it's a little sketchy when you're going 100 plus miles an hour and you want to stop quickly. They work, but I just want to go just a slightly bigger. And then BC Racing coilovers. I want to get rid of the Racelands. I'm sick of them. It's bouncy. It's kind of sketchy if you're getting on it and you hit a pothole and the tires just bounce. A step up from eBay. My buddy had eBay coilovers and it was really, really scary. Still, I wouldn't buy the Racelands again. I am looking for some BC coilovers whenever I get the money in. I will install them, get it realigned, show you guys the difference maybe between those. That's all I have for the video. If you have any other questions, just put it in the comments and we'll try to answer them. Thanks for watching.